So these Instagram lives that I'm doing is a way to get you guys to know what to expect on my new late night talk show called The Nightcap with Carlos King. Again, it debuts Saturday, May 14th at 10 o'clock. So on The Nightcap, we are going to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville, Love and Marriage DC. I got some very special guests making an appearance on this talk show. Like, the guest list is lit. Like, my guest list is lit. It's lit. And the beauty of this talk show and me reaching out to people, no one has said no to me yet. So I appreciate that. This talk show is going to be many things. So you get a chance to see my interaction with my friends in reality television. Some you may know that we're friends. I think some you may not know. You also get to see the cast, obviously, from Huntsville and DC. And you'll get some very special guests. You're going to get some very special announcements. And last but not least, it's going to be a party. So I'm not going to spoil too much, but just know that this late night talk show, if you watch my Instagram lives, it is my Instagram live times 10. It is going to be a big ass party. That's all I'm going to say. So make sure Saturday, May 14th at 10 o'clock you watch it. So let's get into last night's episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Okay. We're going to call this KE-kE, Do You Love Me? We're going to call this Hood Rich, Hood Bitch. And we're going to call this Those Who Don't Buy Shoes in a Box, You Can't Trust Them. So let's get started with last night's episode. So listen, I already know what y'all want to talk about. We're going to get into that in a second. But you know, I like to give you all a little recap. So in the comments, ask me any questions you want. I will answer them to the best of my ability. So a lot of y'all have a lot to say about that sit down between Melody, Stormy, and Kimmy. Some of y'all mentioned that there was some interesting dynamic between Melody and Kimmy in that scene, because Kimmy was making sure that as relates to males' participation in group events, i.e. Jalen's housewarming, that there was going to be a understanding of Martell being invited. A lot of y'all caught that Melody was making comments to Kimmy in regards to how Kimmy used to always say that Martell was the good guy. And there was tons of moments within that conversation that y'all felt was, the words y'all used was like subtle shade, or a lot of y'all feel like Melody wants everybody to hate Martell. A lot of y'all feel that way. So let me know in the comments that based on that conversation, if that's how you guys really felt. What I can say based on that scene and based on what I know is the fact that, listen, these folks have been friends, as of now, it would be almost 10 years. So before the show started to air, these guys were friends for 6 years. They will take vacations together. They will go out and partake in libations together. They will do everything together. So one thing that I find interesting is, and we're going to talk a lot about this at the reunion as well, and on the nightcap with Carlos King, is the fact that when you think about Kimmy and Kimmy's position, at the end of the day, she was friends with Martell and Melody as a couple. And then when one person is removed from that equation as a woman, do you really have to stop being friends with your girl's ex-husband because you two had a bad situation that led to the divorce? Or is there a way for Kimmy to remain cordial to Martell, considering they do have a history with the fact that when Kimmy and Maurice were dating, she was introduced to the Holtz as a pair? So that's the interesting dynamic about all of that. Because in that conversation, it was definitely interesting because you kind of saw this, I wouldn't say it was subtle shade. What I liked about this scene was I felt like it opened the dialogue in terms of what do you do? Because I really do believe that it's confusing. Like, for example, I'll use my personal life as an example. I'm not friends with any of my friends' exes. I'm not. Like none of them. And what's interesting though is this. I purposely never got close to my friend's significant other because I always knew, in case y'all break up, I'm riding with my friend. Period. Because my thing is this, if I met you through my friend, then we're gonna stop being friends. But remember, what's interesting though is Kimmy met the Holtz as a married couple. So that's the difference. So when Kimmy first started dating Maurice, the Holtz were married. So in that case, if I meet you both together and you're husband and wife, just because you're the female, does that mean I have to ride with the female? Y'all see what I'm saying? So that's the part that, okay, so AKA Pretty Pink said exactly, this situation's different. Hey, Winter Williams. Winter said exactly, they met together. So Winter Williams is on Love and Marriage DC. And Winter has a lot going on, child. Wait till you see it, honey. It's a lot. Okay, anyways, we're talking about Huntsville. So that's the reason why when I watched that scene, I didn't know what side to take because the situation is very unique. And I think because of that, I do understand why Kimmy feels like she's at an impasse because she met them together at the same damn time. I also understand Melody's point of view in terms of, but you saw how this guy treated me, and because women are supposed to be supporting women, yes, Ramona, women supporting women. Boop. So, if we believe that women are supporting women, then does that mean that Kimmy, by sheer definition of being a woman, should ride with Melody point blank? Okay? Marquis said Kimmy should not have to pick sides. First Time Mom Inc. says Martell betrayed the friendship when he stepped out. Oh. Okay. I never looked at it that way. Okay. So, because Martell stepped out of the marriage, you guys are saying he betrayed the friendship. So because of that, Kimmy should ride with Melody. Very interesting. Okay. Okay. All right. We have a lot to discuss at this reunion, baby. I know that much. Okay, so that was one scene. And then you guys have a lot to say about Destiny and Martell's friendship. I said this last week. Melody was in the chat last week. And I said this last week that I was always told that Destiny and Martell were friends since high school, which is why Martell's mother likes Destiny. So, do you guys feel this way? Is it inappropriate for Destiny to continue her friendship with Martell, considering that Martell and Melody are now divorced? And on top of that, do you guys feel that Destiny is in the wrong for going to Martell to talk about her grievances with Melody? And on top of that, Martell made a comment that Melody... Two questions. Wait, Reality Comics 2 said, nope, she was his friend first. So you believe that Destiny should remain friends with Martell. Mika Boo believes Destiny should remain... A lot of y'all are saying that Destiny should remain friends with Martell because she knew Martell first. Okay, so that seems to be the consensus. So let me ask you this. Based on you guys watching this season, do y'all believe that Melody is trying to get people to not be friends with Martell? Answer that for me. Because that seems to be the topic of conversation based on last night's episode. Because a lot of y'all feel like Melody doesn't want her friends to be friends with her ex. Period. Some of y'all are saying y'all don't believe that. Some of y'all are saying yes, she is. Destiny should stop talking about her issues with Mel to everyone. It's going to stir up more drama.